Hello everyone, hope you guys are in the right spirits. This is Parashar, psychotherapist, the Cloud Door. Today I'm going to talk about a personality disorder called borderline personality disorder. Many of you must have heard about it, many of you must have not. So let's discuss what is borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder is a mental health disorder which impacts the way a person thinks and feels about himself or the other people around him, which impacts his quality of life adversely. His functioning of life really impairs. So why is it called borderline? Because earlier it was thought to be at the border of neurosis and psychosis. So it was somewhere in between. But what is more important to understand is that it is just not a personality issue. It's a very serious mental illness which needs to be taken care of. And that is why I'm creating this awareness video on borderline personality disorder. It comprises of a pattern of unstable relationships, mood swings. The person has a very distorted self-image. There is extreme emotions and impulsivity that he's unable to control and tolerate, and which also leads to self-harm at times. Symptoms basically includes there is a frantic effort to avoid abandonment. So he doesn't want to be alone. He will do anything at any cost just not to be left alone. He needs a company. So suppose you have a plan with your friend and he ditches you at the last moment. Maybe he has some work or something important, but you will tell him that, I will do anything, just please, let's just go out, please be with me, I've been waiting for you. So this is the kind of reaction a person with borderline personality will give. He will throw a fit. He doesn't want this abandonment. Okay. Secondly, there is unstable relationship and there is extreme idealization of the person. So even if the person is meeting their crush for the first time, they'll be like, maybe I'm meeting for the first time, but he's the one I'm gonna marry, and they'll plan everything in their head, just like that person in Doom does, Uday Chopra. Okay, something like that. So extreme idealization of the person. Then again, extreme devaluation of the person is also there. Everything is hunky-dory, but as soon as the other person, their spouse or anybody, does something which is not acceptable to the person having borderline, they will completely devaluate the person, like you are a waste and you don't deserve it and you are always like this, and saying extreme statements and making the person feel bad, and they themselves don't know why they are doing it. But there is extreme idealization also and extreme devaluation at the same time, so they keep alternating between them. Thirdly, there is extreme impulsivity and self-harm. So they would indulge in reckless driving, sex, shopping spree, and alcohol addictions, different sort of addictions. Then there is chronic feeling of emptiness. So the person really feels empty inside all the time. I'm so alone, I'm so lonely. In addition to borderline personality, you also develop certain kind of other disorders like anxiety. Depression is like a byproduct of that. And also various kind of addictions, smoking, drugs, alcohol, it's very common. And the treatment of borderline personality, it comprises of medication, obviously, to control the symptoms like, suicidal thoughts, feelings, and depression. But therapy is equally very important for borderline personality disorders. We do a certain therapy called DBT, dialectical behavior therapy, to tackle the symptoms and the thought and the feeling part of the disorder. So medicine and treatment works together to make the person feel better, help them understand the thought patterns and help them to regulate their emotions in a proper way, because emotional dysregulation is a hallmark of borderline personality disorders. So if you or anyone you know of is having these symptoms and is having a borderline personality, reach out to us for evaluation and screening and therapy and counseling for the same and get better. So please book appointments on the Cloud Door. Get going.